XRP is bouncing with the cryptocurrency market. XRP came close to that resistance point of 0.85, where on a 3-day chart you do have the 50-day moving average coming as a resistance. So now you do have to break that 340 days long resistance trend line, which is kind of attracting profit takers and sellers at this point. So now we need to actually break that one, because if we can do that, then we are going to retest and bounce. So that gives us the advantage of breaking from this level and gaining more attention. Now, we are getting that resistance right now. If you zoom in, you can actually understand like, okay, yes, the price is trying to break, but you are getting sellers, you are getting people coming over and above it. So you're getting this wick. Now, that's on a shorter time span, right? So when you actually go look at it, say on a weekly, this is what you see. And that's actually bullish. Then you look at it on a daily and you're like, okay, the indicators are aligning in a way. It showcases the possibility of a bottom is in and that we are going to go higher. Because when you have different perspectives. You are looking for opportunities. It can be showing different patterns. Some may show you higher odds. And this is one of the pattern, right? An inverse head and shoulder breaking to the upside at this point would give you an ability for the price to move higher towards 1.39. Now, yes, when we look at the general cryptocurrency market space, we are like, okay, some are up, some are down. We are not actually getting that euphoric movement here in majority of the big coins. But we do recognize some of them are slowly gaining more attention. Some of them after hundreds, small cap, medium cap, that kind of stuff, they are getting attention. So we see coins doing these moves and we are trying to call those out in the Patreon. We are doing that. We had a call on spell and that's working out pretty well. So when you are looking at the entire market, you do have to understand, yes, the market doesn't actually work in just one way. No one have that crystal ball to say this is what's going to happen. But looking at the price action, you can understand what literally is happening in the market and what you can anticipate here. Because you are looking at the ether, we have been below this, you broke below, you slowly came back up, now you are above that trend line, and that's all that matters. Right now, you are looking at this trend line which has been acting as a resistance for a long time. You are above this for the moment. So you're looking at this support range and you're like, okay, buyers are coming in at this particular range and they're pushing the price higher. So if you are looking at, okay, what would be the possibility? The minimum which you can aim here for the market to do is a 34-35% bounce. So if that actually happens, that is kind of pushing ether towards 3,500, 3,800. Now, from the current price, it's not that huge increase, but that's going to shift the market sentiment. And the market sentiment, as it actually moves, you're going to see a lot more decisive moves. So when the market is actually giving you that idea and giving you that point, okay, we are breaking higher, we are starting wave 2. Now, when we talk about wave 2, we generally talk about the macro fundamentals. Now, we understand that. In the macro scenario, we are going to go higher. We all do talk about that. And you also have to understand, yes, we are following this in a way that we clearly understand that the volume is coming back into the market. Now, it's not that huge compared to what we have seen here, but we are slowly getting more and more buyers coming back into this market. Now, yes, this month we only have around 10 days to end this. Fine, but we still have 10 days because the market movers, when they come in huge and they come in hard. So let's dig in this and see what we can understand from the price and what you can do from that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. In the last couple of videos, we actually talked about this, right? And this is coming as a reality. XRP is becoming the global bridge asset. CBDCs are coming out, and with that, this becomes the global bridge. We've talked about that in detail in this video, showing you all the documents which you can see from World Bank, World Economic Forum. You get that detailed narrative which is out there. You just have to go there, read it, and you understand, okay, this is going to be a massive stuff in near future. Now we are all waiting for this. Say some of you came into the market last year, some of you came into the market 4-5 years back. So you are still here because you do understand the value, right? If the value of that product is super high and the price is still cheap, that's why you are here. Say those who have actually looked at these understand, okay, back then we were trading at around this price for a long period of time, right? 0.15, 0.2. Even right now, you're 4x to the upside. But that's not it, right? We know the price is just getting started. Now, why do we say that? Because we see indications in the market, right? You look at the MACD, it is showing you a double bottom reversal, along with the RSI suggesting the same. Now, yes, to get that confirmation, you need this inverse head and shoulder breaking to the upside. So when you go on to zoom in and just focus on that particular area, yes, you're getting a rounded bottom, but you definitely have to break above 0.84. Now here, when you break above that, okay, you go into a live chart here. Let's actually do that. Let's go into a daily chart and zoom in and then try to understand what's really happening here right now. Because price action gives you a lot of idea, right? So now, you can actually see that you are getting a continuation pattern, right? So you get a green candle followed by a red one which stayed inside this green candle. So you can consider this one trading within the same range, no much change. There were some guys who were taking profits, some moving out, some coming back into the market, right? But followed by that, you get this particular candle where you can see the wick to the downside. So that means you came towards 0.79, sellers pushed the price down, but buyers came back in and pushed the price back up. What does that mean? Because they believe this is a good opportunity to buy at an undervalued area. Then, yeah, we went above 0.85, close to that, and then came back down to where we are right now. But the wick, if you compare to the upside and to the downside, you can clearly see that the wick to the downside is longer and the volume is green and bigger than the last day. So buyers are gaining strength here on a daily basis. And you can just go on to Google and try hit continuation patterns in TA price action. So what you can actually gain there is different sorts of stuff happening in the price. So when you actually go on and get these more knowledges, you actually get the ability to understand what's happening in the market. So as you go higher, you get these patterns. If you can see a green, then a small red followed by another green going up. So you actually get this in a lot of different assets. So you go follow this and you're going to understand, yes, that does happen a lot. Now, it's not only to the upside. When you go to the downside, you get the same, right? You can actually identify like these. You had a continuation pattern here. You broke to the downside. You had a consolidation, followed by which you broke to the downside. So right now, you're getting that move to the upside. Fine. So that's the story on a daily. Now, you can actually step back, look at it on a 3-day chart. So on a 3-day chart, this is what you are getting. Okay, you are getting continuous green candles to the upside. But one of the concern which I have here is this: the volume is actually reducing. Now, when we have these green soldiers, as we call them, we do need increasing volume, because with more people coming in, more money coming in, you get a big breakout that leads the price to the upside. So if you can look at here, this area, yes, the price appreciated, it moved higher, but you also had increasing volume. But that's the only concern here. So we actually need to see next candle coming up with a lot of volume, or at least more volume than what we had in the recent candle, right? So now you are zooming in here to understand what's happening. Now, one of the major stuff you have to concern is, y'all look at this clearly. Fine. So in this one, when we look at, this is just 2 candles on a 3-day chart, which took us all the way from 0.5 towards 0.88, say close to 0.9. So within that region, we are still inside that one. So if you are actually looking for a corrective move, you can Now measure what was that correction. You came all the way back down, so that's minus 30%. Now you close the candle somewhere around minus 20. So that was a 20% dip. And then right now from the bottom, you actually have gone up 20%. You still have a little bit of difference. That's the market, right? You pay the spread all the time, and that's where you can make more money. So if you are in this market looking at this pattern, you do understand this is a support. The price is at a support and bouncing from that. At the same point, you also do understand there is a trend line which we are following from a long time. We have not actually broken that to the upside completely. We need to break that, and as we break, yes, you do get that idea that this particular support range, it's going to go higher. Now, once you actually plot this correctly, you kind of get this narrative, okay, we are going to go higher. Right now, do I think it's going to break to the upside? It's crypto, anything can happen, but the volume is actually dropping. We need increasing volume to come in and the market as a whole to move. Because right now, you go look at the Bitcoin, you go look at the Ether, we are moving, but we are not moving at a pace where we think euphoric movement or, people are coming in with a ton of money with those kind of volume. You go look at the coin Paprika right now, it's 0.836, which is a bit lower than what we just saw here. So we do understand there is a lot of fluctuation. We do understand short-term volatility is going to kill you if you're going to try and trade that a lot of time. Now, if you are successful, great, good for you, but majority don't stand a chance in this market where it's a lot of it is manipulation. You can see that because short-term, the market is a voting machine. It's really hard to predict, but in long term, it's a weighing machine. It actually weighs the fundamental in, and good projects come out on top of it. You can go back in time, look at what XRP has done over the time, and then look at what it is doing right now. You see patterns, you see similarities of what it has done here, which is slowly repeating here. We got a double bottom here, that curved a rounded bottom, which made a base back then, giving you that time. Now, one of the good stuff which you need to keep in mind here is, yes, you are not getting a lot of volume here, but right now, if you try to understand the price action, you get to see this. You are moving up, but you're not actually getting that huge momentum in price. You're slowly grinding, and at one point, you get a lot of momentum, lot of volume. You see this? The volume was decreasing here. It didn't actually increase. It was lower. But when the next candle showed up, there was a ton of volume. So now you go back to the current price and you are looking at that. Okay, the price is not skyrocketing, but it's slowly grinding to the upside. Each time it's going up, it's going to a new high where the candle is closing in green. That means you get a higher close. So now you're observing the daily volume, and the daily volume is slowly increasing. So what's the change there? Compared to last 6-7 days, you are getting more volume than those. Now, yes, you need to get much bigger volume here, but that doesn't actually mean the market is not going to move. Here on a daily, when you get this move, say in a couple of days, if you can sustain this, you get the same on a 3-day, followed by the weekly. So there you're getting the confirmation that we are going to break to the upside on this smaller time frame candle, this pattern. Now understand this particular pattern. When you observe that, this one, when it breaks, you're going to get a break here too. And then when you're going on, say XRP on a monthly, weekly, and then zoom out and talk about the price action, you are definitely understanding that yes, you do get a chance or a possibility where the price is showing you the structure where you kind of say, okay, that's a double bottom. That is a possibility which I am eyeing at the price right now. So when does this actually complete? Yes, you do have to close around this region, which would be say 1.35, 1.36. When does that come into play? If we get this pattern on a shorter horizon, breaking to the upside and reaching this territory, that gives you a break of this one, the macro, which is on a weekly or a monthly, you can get this on a macro break here in this range of 1.3. So that is again showing you the price can continue to the upside. So you measure this one to look at what's the measured move there, so that you can prepare for the price action which is followed by that. So you get close towards the all-time highs, right? So if you get to break this one to the upside, that's going to take you to the all-time highs. So these three breakout patterns which we just talked about is going to take the price to the all-time highs. Yes, it all starts from the shorter time span where you are looking for that to break higher. Great. Then you step back and understand, okay, once that happens, you are looking for this pattern which would take you towards this area. Now, at the same time, you also look at the price of XRP to BTC and Ether to understand whether it's actually breaking fairly, right? When the price action in dollar terms is giving you a hint it's going to move higher, you do need to look at the volume here. Now, yes, we do have resistance. We are near that, but we're not actually getting that negative pressure here. Right now, you're getting positive volume. You can see in the price action, you're moving slowly to the upside. So you're not actually getting that negative vibe here. Whereas, yes, Bitcoin is a little bit weak right now and also gaining momentum. So that kind of gives you that idea that the market is about to trend higher. So now when you look at this on a 3-day chart for XRP BTC pair, you again, while zooming out, you do understand we are close to that bottom. So buying at the bottom or close to that gives you that ability to make higher ROI. So yes, this is about XRP USD pair and then XRP BTC pair here. Both of them gives you that ability to make this massive ROI as it goes to the upside. Now, one of the key stuff which everyone, including myself, need to reiterate here is something, if something has repeated in the history again and again and again, that means it's bound to come back and reiterate and go back, right? So that's going to happen one way or the other. So when you see in history it's going up, coming back down, it's going up, coming back down. So the market go up, the markets go down. It does take a lot of time, which it's hard to predict. Say here one top to another one, you took 472 days. But here from that one to the next one, you took like 880. Then from that to the next one, it's like again 250 days. So no one literally know when it's going to happen. But one thing is for sure, history is bound to repeat itself. And if that's happening, you are going to go to the upside, right? And that right now looks like it's pending 1,000 days and we are still waiting for that. So each day you pass by, that's 1 day shot towards that direction which you really want to reach. So now when XRP BTC pair is showing you, okay, we are going to have that blast, XRP USD is also going to have that price appreciation. And then from the start of Ether, you do understand this stuff is playing out in a way that, Ether is gaining strength on XRP and you can identify that we need to break higher to change this trend. Now, I'm not talking in a perspective where, I'm like that XRP maximalist, but I'm talking about the reality, how the asset works, the specification, the fundamentals, one stuff, then the adoption, the utility, all that stuff. But right now, we are not just being irrational. We are trying to be rational looking at what the market is doing. Right now, you can see it's slowly making a rounded bottom pattern, which when it breaks to the upside, it breaks crazy. Now, yes, we do have to break this stuff and go higher. So, based on the current stats, I would say, 5 to 7x against Ether is not a big story for XRP. And this trend breaks in just 160. So, if you are able to go like this, crazy, you are breaking this trend line and that's showing you a new trend is starting at that point. From last 6-7 years where you were trending down against Ether, now you're going to trend higher. So if you are in this market for the long run, you are going to observe all this. Now we don't know whether this is going to happen in a day, a week or a year. No one knows. But what you understand is this is the direction of the market and you are aligned to get that. And if you are positioned well enough, you're going to make that move in your portfolio as well. So yes, you do see a lot of opportunities in the market. Some of them are really risky. Yes, I do put those calls out, but if you are not a trader, it's not benefiting you. But if you are looking to trade, yes, these are benefiting yourself. If you want to get those, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where we go through a ton of assets, looking through and giving you guys that outcome. Yes, we are doing massive candles. Now, not every asset is doing that on a regular basis. If you get 5, 3 of them would do kind of moderate, 2 of them is going to blast, right? That's how things work. And this market, you get a ton of update. If you want to stay updated, if you want to stay alive in this market, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.